Even with cooking the engine and having to fork out $2,500 to fix that, which seems like an absolute disaster, and it was. I'm broken down on the side of the road here in the middle of Queensland with my new 2000 Ford Econovan Maxi that I just bought, just picked up today, this morning. It's the first time I've even seen it. I went and got it this morning and I thought it was an absolute bargain price. In fact, even with this breakdown, I still think it's a bargain price. $2,500 is what I paid for this. It's got 6 months rego remaining. The seller just recently spent about $1,600 fixing a few things that were required to get it signed off. Anyway, driving down the freeway. Gladstone is about 3 hours that way. The Sunshine Coast is about 3 hours that way. As you can see, not a whole lot going on out here. Really in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, smoke started pouring out of the engine as I was going down the road. So I pulled over to investigate and here we are. Yep, looks like a Galar took its last breaths here recently. So I've tried to restart it a couple of times, it's not happening. I called RACQ Roadside Assist, which is the Queensland Roadside Assist, and got onto them, and $197 is what it's gonna cost me today. Just get out of the sun into the shade. $197 is what it's gonna cost me today to have someone come out and help me out. Try and get me going. If they can get me going, that's awesome. If they can't get me going, apparently they will tow me within 20 kilometers of where I am right now. And the lucky thing is, I checked on Google Maps and apparently the nearest town is about 15 kilometers that way. So that could work out very lucky in the event that I can't get it going. And I don't know, I do need to take it to a mechanic and get some work done. Now, the unfortunate thing about this is that today's Sunday, tomorrow's a public holiday, and it's a small town, so potentially I'm stuck here in this small town for the next couple of days, but I don't even really care, to be honest. Like, even if this breakdown ends up costing me $1,000, well, look, I've still got what I think is a great van. I'm happy with it. Great van for $3,500, if that ends up happening. Look, I'm really not that fussed with it. So, look, I think $197 for the RACQ Roadside Assist is a good deal, especially considering the circumstances. I mean, what other choice do I have? What option do I have? I'm in the middle of nowhere on a Sunday. Tomorrow's public holiday. There's like almost no passing traffic. What are my alternatives? So to have someone come out here to me, help me out, and you know, if they can't help me, take me to a mechanic, which is 15 kilometers away, for that price, that's a good deal. Also, $197, that does give you the full 12 months membership. I'm not gonna need it because I'm driving from Queensland into New South Wales and I don't really intend to come back anytime soon. But whatever, I think even just for today's help and potentially towing today, I still think it's a good deal. So that's where I'm at. I will make some other videos in the future about this van, well, provided I don't just write it off and walk away from it today, which I think is that's a slim chance. I do think I'm gonna keep this van. Hopefully it's a relatively easy fix. Hopefully it's not gonna cost more than $1,000. Look, if it's $1,000, yeah, it hurts, but $2,500 is a steal. So $3,500 for a good van, hey, I'm fine with that. However, I have previously had this pretty much exact same thing happen to me in the past, where it was a case of just having to sign the van over to somebody that came to pick it up and tow it away, and I got no money for it, and it was basically a financial write-off. I walked away from it. I hope that doesn't end up happening today. I really hope that's not the case, but we'll see. Anyway. All right, let me just interrupt for a moment because what you've been watching occurred 3 months ago. It's the same van, and let me tell you how the story ended. It didn't end well. Turned out it was actually a cooked engine, which means a blown head gasket, and that's pretty much a worst case scenario. It's the same thing that's happened to me another time previously with a old Mitsubishi Express van. That time, I just walked away from it. I didn't bother to fix it. I just literally signed it over to somebody else, walked away and said, you can have it. This time around, I thought about it and I decided, even though it was going to be quite expensive to fix it, by fixing it, at least it puts me in a position where I end up with a good van that I can either keep and enjoy and use myself, or I can eventually sell, which is what I'm planning to do pretty soon. So the damage ended up being, well, on the day of that video recording, it was $197 for the RACQ. That included towing to the nearest small town. And I actually got lucky that that small town was actually one of the biggest towns in that part of Queensland. But yeah, I left it at a mechanic for a couple of months and came to $2,600 for the mechanic. I would have gotten back there to pick it up sooner, except there were some travel restrictions with movement across borders, state to state, and also I was busy working in New South Wales. So I didn't get back to pick this up for quite some time. But now I've got it, and I've actually been working on it with my dad for the last couple of weeks. It's looking great. So some changes. Firstly, it's now registered in New South Wales, and I'll talk about the process of getting a vehicle from another state registered in New South Wales. It's got fresh paint, all of the rust has been taken care of and removed. It's been cleaned up. It's got some foot mats in here, it's got a shelf and a bed, it's got some posters. Oh, the really, really nice touch that you can't really see now because it's daytime, but check this out. We've actually got fairy lights rigged up all the way around, everywhere, fairy lights, and they run off the battery. So solar charging the battery, and then at night you can use that power to run the fairy lights. It looks incredible. I'll have to cover that one in another video. Going around the back, what else we got here? Oh yeah, we've put a mat down here just to cover the ugly floor, painted even the inside, curtains, curtain rods. So quite a bit of work. New tires as well. Yeah, it looks a lot better than when I bought it, I'm sure you'll agree. And it's actually a really good vehicle now. You know, it's very reliable. It's had a lot fixed. It's had a lot of money spent on it in the last couple of months. And even though it's an old van and it's got a lot of kilometers on the clock, basically everything is new. It's super reliable. I definitely wouldn't hesitate to jump in it right now and set off for a trip all around Australia. I definitely think it's reliable enough to do that. Yeah, but as it stands right now, I bought it for $2,500, $2,600 with the mechanic fixing the cooked engine. Would have been nice to avoid that. But anyway, what else? Blue slip, the CTP, third-party insurance, New South Wales registration, getting a few things fixed with the blue slip check. And then if you also want to include flights back and forth to Queensland and messing around with a few things here and there, you could say this van now owes me about $6,000. But the good news is, right now I've got it advertised for about $9,000. And hey, if I can get 8 for it, good times, which I think I probably will, by the way. So yeah, even with cooking the engine and having to fork out $2,500 to fix that, which seems like an absolute disaster, and it was. I'm not downplaying that at all. But even with that happening, I'm still on track to recoup my investment and maybe even make a little bit of money. Now, if I could go back in time and if I knew then what I know now and knew that the engine was going to die in the middle of Queensland, it was going to be a massive pain, would I still go ahead and buy this van? No, I don't think I would. The main reasons that I've kept it and fixed it. Firstly, so I can share the content with you and talk you through the process of what happens when you cook a van, because it's not much fun, but you can recover from it. And secondly, yeah, I just wanted to go through the process for myself, because last time around when that happened, I just walked away from the van. It was a complete financial loss. This time around, I wanted to, you know, just not rush into a decision on the day and decide maybe I want to keep it. But I'm really happy with the state of the van at the moment, and it's looking beautiful. It is actually a really good van. It's really reliable, and yeah, like I said, it's for sale at the moment, and I think I'll get at least $8,000 for it, which is great. Yeah, that's cool. It would have been better if the engine didn't die on me, and then I would have, you know, been a few $1,000s better off, but that's still a pretty good result. So overall, Can't complain about this one. All right, so let's get back to the story. Anyway, while I'm here, I'm taking advantage of some sun. Got my solar panel here, charging the solar battery. Yeah, just drinking some water, eating some food. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess. Haven't really set it up for living yet or made much of an effort to make it look clean and tidy. I literally just finished work yesterday and I picked this thing up this morning. I just threw everything in. My plan was to drive to the Sunshine Coast and see a friend and then stay tonight on the Gold Coast with another friend, hang out there, go surfing, Byron Bay tomorrow, surfing, and eventually make my way down to Sydney. But here I am. Oh look, here comes a passing car. One of the rare ones. But yeah, we'll see. So apparently roadside assistance will be here sometime in the next hour and a half. We'll see what they say. I don't expect it'll be an easy fix, although I hope it is, but we'll see. By the way, while I was on hold on the phone waiting for roadside assistant to answer the phone, I noticed that I'm breaking down. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a house right there. Just pure coincidence. There's nothing else out here, but there is a house right there. So while I was on the phone waiting for them to answer, I thought I'd just walk up the driveway and knock on the door and see if somebody was home and just, if nothing else, just figure out where I am, like what's the address here. So I knocked, nobody answered, can't see anybody up there. But I did hear some dogs barking and they sounded like pretty big, angry dogs. So I decided to get out of there, come back to the road and hide in the safety of the van instead. Yeah, look, it's pretty comfortable actually. In the shade here. So this is where I'm at. We'll see. But anyway, look, I will keep you updated about what happens with this van, no doubt. If I still own this van tomorrow or next week, I'll be making more videos about my new Ford Econovan. Even though it's broken down, I still like it. I still think it's so far so good. What do you expect for $2,500, right? I mean, this is why you should spend a little bit more money on vans, because you really do take a bit of a gamble when you buy vans for less than $3,000, $2,500. I'm surprised I made it 3 hours down the road. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If this is your first time here on the channel and you want to see more videos about smarter van living, smash the subscribe button. You have a great day and I will see you next time.